How's it going, everybody? Welcome back, and welcome to winter. It begins today, and if the season began today, the Yankees pitching would be in better shape than it was last year, but their offense is lacking a little bit. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of baseball discussions over Christmas break, holiday break, while you're sitting around with family talking baseball, so I wanted to give you kind of a little primer as to where the team stands right now. So let's take a look at the roster. Starting pitching, we're 6 deep. We got Gerrit Cole coming back, obviously. Max Fried just signed that 8-year, $218 million deal. Some people think it might be a little bit of an overpay. I think he's going to be a solid pitcher if he stays healthy. Carlos Rodon had a nice bounce back year last year. He's your number 3 man in the rotation, most likely. Luis Gil won the Rookie of the Year. He won 15 games, 3.5 ERA. Really solid pitcher. Some command issues, but throwing the ball pretty well last year. Clark Schmidt was exceptional until he got hurt in May. He had an oblique strain. He missed several weeks. Came back, was not quite the same. He just missed several months, actually. Was not the same when he came back. But still, my hopes for him are high next year. Marcus Stroman, probably going to get traded this winter. He seems to be the piece that the Yankees are interested in moving, and that would help their roster flexibility a little bit. He makes $18 million. For the type of pitcher he is, you see some of these other guys getting massive deals. I'd say $18 million is kind of a bargain, honestly, for a guy who's going to take the ball, 27 to 30 times, give you probably 20 reliable starts. I think that that's a good deal, and somebody should pick him up, and that will give the Yankees flexibility to improve the offense. Now, the relief corps is also better. Devin Williams was acquired for Nestor Cortez and Caleb Durbin. He's one of the top 5 closers in baseball. Don't worry about that home run he gave up to Pete Alonso in the playoffs. That's the nature of the job of a late inning reliever. Sometimes you get got. Even Mariano Rivera, unanimous Hall of Famer, got beaten in the playoffs a few times, including Game 7 of the World Series. This allows Luke Weaver to slide out of that closer role and be a more targeted high-leverage relief pitcher, right? And he's got closer stuff, so you could use him in the 7th, the 8th, the 6th, whenever you need to. Jonathan Loaizaga coming back next year. Lightning stuff. Had Tommy John surgery. He actually had the brace procedure, which is a little bit less invasive. We'll see how he holds up. Jake Cousins showed some good stuff last year. He's still in the bullpen. Ian Hamilton has had some difficulty staying healthy, but when healthy, he's filthy. Mark Leiter acquired last year from the Cubs. I don't really have a lot of positive things to say about Mark Leiter, although he did get some big outs in the playoffs. Scott Efros, acquired a couple of years ago from the Cubs, immediately broke down. Was not the same when he came back this year. The metrics are kind of down on him. Hopefully, a full winter of being healthy and working his way back from a couple of surgeries will get him going. Now, you take a look at the main roster here. We got Dominguez probably in left field, Bellinger in center field. He could also play first base. It's kind of unsettled where he's going to be. There was some news when the Yankees first traded for Bellinger that he would go back to center field, but Brian Cashman has since said that that is, quote, fake news. Aaron Judge back in right field where he's a more elite defender. Right now, your infield probably looks like this, but I think there's going to be some changes. This is going to be the area the Yankees work on the most over the next couple of months. Peraza right now is your third baseman, which allows you to slide Jazz Chisholm back to second base. Although I think a lot of people will say that Chisholm will remain at third base and the Yankees will go out and get a second baseman. We'll see how that shakes out, but I think that there's some flexibility there. The Yankees could go in a number of different directions. They could sign Bregman for third base. That's a possibility. They could trade for a different third baseman, maybe somebody like Nolan Arenado, who I'm not a huge fan of at this point in his career, but it could happen. Anthony Volpe back in shortstop, where he's been exceptional defensively 2 years in a row. Took a step back with the power this year, but raised his average by almost 40 points. So hopefully he continues to round out as an offensive player. If he could hit 270 this year with 15 home runs and play great defense, I'll tell you what, he would be an elite shortstop. Right now, your first baseman is probably Ben Rice. He had that 3 home run game this year, but didn't do a lot else. Anthony Rizzo is a free agent, probably not coming back. Giancarlo Stanton back at the DH spot, obviously a huge postseason. You want to keep him healthy. He doesn't really play the outfield anymore. He pretty much locks in that DH spot. And I expect him to be even slower next year because even basically jogging this year and never turning on the gas at all to run, he still had one leg injury and missed some time. So I expect him to continue to be a slugging DH guy for the next couple of years. Austin Wells behind the dish, finished third in the Rookie of the Year voting. Really sweet left-handed swing. Had some good months last year. Slowed down towards the end of the season. And then your bench right now: Trevino, Cabrera, Grisham, and LeMahieu. I would be surprised if LeMahieu makes the roster. The Yankees do owe him $30 million, so they obviously don't want to cut him and have to pay that, but would not shock me if that happens. But anyway, that's the state of your Yankees roster. Enjoy those baseball discussions over holiday break. I will be back if any news breaks. I'm going to take a little bit of time, a little bit of a vacation here. But as always, if the Yankees make a trade, you see Stroman get moved, you see him pick up, Bregman or another infielder, I'll be back to talk about it and give you my reactions. But go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is Pinstripe Territory, the official podcast for the Yankees of the Foul Territory Network. Have a very happy holidays, everyone. Hey, while I've got you here, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Pinstripe Territory is the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We are home to the #1 most watched MLB postgame show on YouTube since 2021. We're here after every Yankees game and for reactions to all the best news and rumors during the offseason. Be a part of the show by calling into the voicemail 718-899-1068. Try to keep it clean for me. And if you ever miss us on YouTube, be sure and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars. It'll help other people find the show. Thanks for watching. See ya.